This afternoon we're focusing on a topic critical to the future of our industry, skills. We'll be looking at the fantastic work already happening in our sector to address the skills shortage, from initiatives LCRIG have been driving to how we can inspire the next generation and how we can further support those already working in our industry. I'm really excited to be here talking to you this afternoon about skills, as it's something I'm deeply passionate about. Before I came into the industry, and I'll be honest, I thought it was all high-vis vests and potholes, which I think a lot of people outside our industry think too, which is only half of the battle. We can't ignore the challenges we're currently facing and will continue to face in the coming years, so I hope by showing you the work LCRIG have been doing inspires others to do more. We can't ignore these challenges, so I'm hoping it inspires. Just before I get into it though, just by a show of hands, has anybody in the room been in the sector for 20 years? Okay, brill. I'll push the boat out a little bit further. Has anybody been in the industry 30 years? And don't worry, this isn't me trying to get you to give away your age. Brill, thank you. So it does show that the sector can offer long-lasting, successful careers, but it also shows the scale of the problem that we have. So what is the problem? Move on. Oh, there we go. So these were facts and figures published from the Stonehaven Global Report on the skills engineering. And it says a fifth of the workforce, the engineering workforce, is set to retire within the next 5 years. And on today's trends, the sector is heading for a shortfall of 1 million engineers by 2030. Across the age groups, Gen Z were the most reluctant to consider a career in highways. 30% saying they wouldn't choose it. 34% thought the sector was too male-dominated, and 32% were put off by the idea of it being maths and science related. However, it isn't a shortage of young people entering the sector, it's a shortage of all kind of levels. It's a shortage of young people entering, it's a shortage of kind of managerial people to support these young people coming through. So it is quite a scary figures there. So what did LCRIG do? What was our response to the challenge? Well, first of all, the first thing we did in 2023 was support the creation of the Salford Highways Maintenance Academy. We were approached by Salford City College because they had a shortage of apprentices, and they were wondering through membership, was there anything that we could do as LCRIG to support them? So I set up a meeting with Salford City College, their training partners, which is Salford City College, Salford City Council, and we all got together at their college to kind of, think out loud. What do we need to do to get this off the ground? What do we need to do, curriculum-wise? And then we went for a tour around the college. What was really interesting about the tour was, as you go around the college, you see the plumbing, you see the electrician, you see the groundworks. You don't see anything for highways. Straight away, there's an issue. When students or, kind of young people come into the college to do their open days, they can't see anything. Highways isn't a sector, and we wanted to change that. So the guys at Salford, who were brilliant, they've done a fantastic job. They had kind of identified an area at the back of the car park, which was wasteland, which is now the Highways Maintenance Academy. So you can see a few pictures there at the top. So they had kind of got local contractors, Casey and Bethels, in to excavate the area, plane the area, having diggings for the students. And then we went out to sector to ask them to donate time, materials, money, anything that we were able to donate and support to the Highways Maintenance Academy. So they now have a mock road. They have a cabin which LCRIG donated, which is what the students work in. There's a cabin that we've also donated, which is due to arrive later this week for the storage of kind of materials and equipment. And the whole project, Kerry touched on it earlier, the whole project came to about £100,000, and £90,000 of that was donated by sector. The academy is in its third year now, and we were quite lucky to be updated by Salford College this summer, and the first cohort of students did their endpoint assessment, and there was a 100% success rate. So we were absolutely over the moon with that. But this wasn't enough for our LCRIG team. We wanted to do more. So we partnered with Primary Engineer. Primary Engineer are a not-for-profit organisation like LCRIG, and their kind of aim is to kind of, introduce engineering at an early age, to, raise the awareness really around engineering and the opportunities within. So they work with over 100,000 pupils spanning from early years to further education, and they developed a curriculum to support engineering. I was really lucky earlier this year to be participating in one of their grading days, which is linked to the If You Were an Engineer, What Would You Do competition. And what it does is it asks students to come up with an invention relating to an engineer that they've spoken to. When I was at the grading day, there was lots of entries for environmental, there was lots of robots, which you could probably guess with young students wanting to create robots, but there wasn't anything for highways. And again, we wanted to do something about that. So we have agreed through the partnership that we will try to push volunteers from our industry to go into the schools, talk with the students and try to encourage those entries into highways. Moving on, so the next thing we did was form the Apprenticeship Task Group. The Apprenticeship Task Group is a new group within LCRIG. Kerry again touched on that earlier. And essentially it is a group of apprentices from across the industry, public and private. We currently have 9 individuals involved in that group, and we meet monthly virtually. That group was kind of created to be able to support apprentices in their role, also be able to allow us to kind of grow our network as young individuals within the sector, and kind of support one another really. A big chunk of the work we did this year was around the Innovation and Learning Festival and coming up with content that would be relevant for apprentices at the festival. So we built apprentice-specific sessions for us to go into. We did a networking kind of relationship building exercise, which was around building bridges. We did a lot of Slidos to get their feedback of what we should be doing, what we could be doing. And then we also supported the Apprenticeship Awards as well. So we looked at how we can be promoting that. We did meet earlier in August as well, so we've been looking at what we can be doing going into these next few months and into next year as well. And then we thought, well, we've got the Innovation and Learning Festival, there's the learning element to this. We already deliver the CPD accredited sessions, but what could we be doing around learning? So we had provided 61 fully funded places to apprentices, public and private sector, which included their attendance, catering, refreshments and accommodation. We wanted to make it accessible for all apprentices. It wasn't if you were just a member or, if you were private sector or public, that didn't matter. We also wanted to create an award ceremony specific to apprentices. You look at kind of other highways awards in the industry and there's always a category for Apprentice of the Year or Best Apprentice, but there wasn't a kind of specific awards evening for apprentices. So we changed that and we created one. So in partnership with DFT, we developed and created the DFT Special Recognition Apprentice Awards. There was 5 categories for the outstanding, inspirational, frontline exceptional, level 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6. And there was over 40 entries into that, so that was amazing. And then we also ran the Inspiring the Future competition alongside that, where we asked apprentices in the industry to kind of come up with ways that they would inspire the younger generation to a career in highways. We have also recently partnered with Ask and Brian. So York City Council got in touch with us as members. We're really kind of interested in what went on in Salford, really like the idea and like how can we replicate that in our area. So it's still very early in its kind of early in its journey, but we've gone to visit the site. We've looked at kind of where they're wanting to kind of do the actual kind of work on site and where they'll be looking at the students. So if anybody is in that area or anybody is interested in kind of how they can get involved, please do kind of come and find me, reach out to me because they're keen to be starting potentially in January. And then, moving on. And then last but not least, this isn't something new that we've done, this is something we've done at LCRIG for a long time, but I'm not entirely sure if everybody's aware of it. So we have an LCRIGs job page as part of membership, where we're able to advertise vacancies on behalf of our council members for free of charge, and they can go onto our specific jobs page website. We also do it for our corporate members, but you get 3 of those per membership year in your membership as well. So I thought I'd just mention this quickly, and there's obviously the link to the website page there as well. So if anybody has any vacancies they'd like to share for your membership, don't be afraid, just get in touch, we'll be happy to share them. And yeah, thank you.